In this video, we're going to use a graphing program to graph a function and find points of information on the graph. So looking at this function, f of x equals negative 2x squared plus 3x plus 7, I'm being asked to find f of negative 1. Now, notice, of course, that we're being told what the x value is in the function, since they've substituted negative 1 in for x. So they're giving us the x value, and they'd like us to find the y value. All right, so to do that, I'm going to go over to desmos.com, which I've already entered into my web, and I'm going to hit Start Graphing. And it pulls up a graph that I'm going to enter now the function. And what's cool about the program is I can actually write the function as I saw it, f of x equals negative 2x, and then to do a power, we use what's called the caret symbol. That's a shift and the number 6 squared plus 3x plus 7. All right, and there's our graph. And what I want to do is I would like to find f of negative 1. So I'm going to come, there's a couple ways to do this. I can kind of look at the graph and I can see that at negative 1, it looks like it's crossing, oh, sorry, here's negative 1. It looks like it's crossing at negative 2. And I can verify that using the table feature. So if you go back over here to this little cog button and hit table, I could actually look at set values for x that they have given me. So I see actually the second value here, negative 1, 2 is the answer to that question. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to put a 2 in. Or another way of saying this in function notation is that f of negative 1 equals 2. Okay, so we're going to do this again, but we're now going to use 3/4 for the x value. Now that x value was not displayed on the table. So what's great about Desmos is I could put in any value I'd like for x. And how about instead of 0, I'm going to put in 3/4. And there it is, 8.125. So now I know the y value, or I found f of 3/4 equals 8.125. Okay, this last part, part C, f of x equals 2, is different. Now what they have given me is not the x value anymore. You see that the x value is there. They're telling me that f of x equals 2. Well, a lot of people might remember that in school, they often say whenever you see f of x, that really means y equals negative 2x squared plus 3x plus 7. So what they've really given me here is not x, but y. They've told me the y value of the ordered pair. So I know that they want me to figure out when y equals 2. Okay, now that's a little bit different. Let's come back to Desmos. There are a couple ways to do this. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the table here. And the way I like to do this, because Desmos is really good about finding points where two curves cross, is I'm going to actually enter the equation y equals 2. And you'll see that when you come over here that they automatically have the points where y equals 2. And if you just hover over them, we see that when x is 2.5, y equals 2. And then actually we already found another value where y equals 2. That was when x equals negative 1. So it actually equals 2 in two different places. So at negative 1 and at 2.5. So there's actually two answers for this one. In function notation, you would actually put x equals negative 1. Oops, it doesn't look very nice. Negative 1 and x equals 2.5.